To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Join me as we dive into the history behind some of the most beloved songs for every season. Seasons of celebration, of gratitude, of anticipation, and more. In each episode, I'll explain the history of a well-known song and then perform some of it for you.
Though many of the most prominent English-language hymns come from England, the words to this hymn are from an American original. Such is the case with Thou Gracious God, Whose Mercy Lends. The author was Oliver Wendell Holmes Sr., a physician and poet who lived in Massachusetts, a true Renaissance man who loved both science and literature. He was born in 1809, studied medicine at Harvard, and kept company with literary luminaries of the 19th century, such as Ralph Waldo Emerson, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, and James Russell. In addition to his lyrics and poetry, among his most famous works are the Breakfast Table series, including The Autocrat of the Breakfast Table, 1858, The Professor at the Breakfast Table, 1860, and The Poet at the Breakfast Table, 1872. These works, combining essays, poems, and dialogues, were celebrated for their conversational style, wit, and insightful observations on American life and culture. You might have studied his poems, including the famous Old Ironsides in high school English. That poem saved the USS Constitution, an 18th century warship, from being decommissioned. Such was the power of his poetry and prose. His son Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. followed in his intellectual footsteps, but in the field of law, becoming a U.S. Supreme Court justice and one of the most influential American jurists. The text has been set to various tunes, but if you think you've heard the tune used in the Mac Wilberg arrangement before, you're probably right. It is known as O Waly Waly, and it is one of the most famous English-Scottish folk tunes. It's one of those folk tunes passed down since at least the 17th century, so it's hard to pin it down to a single originator. The tune has been attached to various texts, including The Water is Wide. Its plaintive, reflective tone pairs perfectly with this reflective text to create a mighty prayer.
Thou gracious God, whose mercy lends the light of home, the smile of friends, our gathered flock, thine arms enfold, as in the peaceful days of old. Thank you for listening. May music fill this and every season.